Daniel Ricciardo looks set to reunite with Red Bull Racing, having reportedly signed a reserve deal with his old team for next season. After the Australian was knocked out of the first part of qualifying for the US Grand Prix in Austin on Sunday morning, AEDT, Sky Sports F1 Paddock reporter Ted Kravitz said Ricciardo had revealed the news in the lead-up to the race meeting last week. "We do understand that he has closed out a reserve drive for next year, so he told us on Thursday he will be around about the Formula 1 paddock next year," Kravitz said. Read more. Matildas dealt worst possible World Cup draw. Read more. Australia under fire over dubious World Cup call. Read more. Absolute gun set to explode on World Cup. Red Bull and Mercedes are the only two teams that take their reserve drivers to each race meeting. Others often have them working in factory on the team simulators during race weekends, testing various setups to assist the trackside crew. Kravitz obviously believes Ricciardo's phrasing, that he would be in the F1 paddock, indicates he has signed with one of those two teams. Paddock talk since the Japanese Grand Prix a fortnight ago had suggested Ricciardo was to sign a reserve role with Mercedes, with eyes to return to a race role in 2024. But with Lewis Hamilton verbally expressing a desire to carry on and George Russell on a long-term contract, there is unlikely to be an opening there. The Mercedes role was also the obvious choice after their current reserve, Dutchman Nyck de Vries, signed a race contract with AlphaTauri for next season. But with Max Verstappen likely to remain at Red Bull until he retires, and Sergio Perez having earlier this year signed a 2-year extension to his deal, locking him at Milton Keynes until the end of 2024, Red Bull is full too. But I am told it's not Mercedes, so which only leaves Red Bull as the teams which have a reserve driver on hand at every race, Kravitz said. Meanwhile, Ricciardo will start the US Grand Prix from 16th after another disappointing qualifying performance. On his final run in Q1, Ricciardo improved from 18th to just 13th before being shuffled back down into the elimination zone to 17th after improvements from Kevin Magnussen, teammate Lando Norris and Albon. Zhou Guanyu also leapfrogged the Aussie, but will start behind him due to a grid penalty. McLaren team principal Andreas Seidl said Ricciardo's performance was a big disappointment. "I think it was not easy for Daniel to get the lap together," he told the Sky Sports F1 broadcast. "He was struggling with the rear, which is a shame because he showed some good pace this weekend." Carlos Sainz will start from pole. Charles Leclerc was second fastest, but a 10-place grid penalty for a new engine will see him start 12th. Max Verstappen will start second from the Mercedes duo of Hamilton and Russell.